In a powerful display of celebrity activism and solidarity with frontline healthcare workers, Hollywood icon Angelina Jolie has publicly thrown her support behind the growing wave of protests against Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) actions. This comes in the wake of the tragic shooting death of Alex Preddy, an intensive care unit (ICU) nurse who was killed by ICE agents. Jolie's involvement marks her as the latest high-profile figure to speak out, following in the footsteps of fellow stars Jennifer Aniston, Ellen DeGeneres, and others who had already voiced their outrage and called for justice and reform. The incident involving Alex Preddy has sparked widespread anger across the United States, particularly within the medical community and among advocates for immigrant rights and humane treatment of individuals in custody. Preddy, described as a dedicated VA nurse who specialized in caring for veterans, some of the nation's most revered and vulnerable patients, was reportedly carrying out his routine duties when the fatal encounter occurred. Colleagues and supporters emphasized that he was simply doing what nurses do every day, providing compassionate care to those in need, whether patients in hospitals or people in the community. His death has been labeled a murder by many, highlighting deep concerns over the use of force by federal agents and the broader implications for public safety, especially when it involves essential workers. Angelina Jolie, renowned not only for her blockbuster acting career in films like those in the Tomb Raider and Maleficent franchises but also for her long-standing commitment to human rights, used her significant social media platform to amplify the message. She shared a poignant video featuring Mary Turner, an ICU nurse from the Minneapolis metro area and the president of National Nurses United, NNU, a major labor union representing registered nurses across the country. In the clip, Turner stands at the very site where Preddy was killed, delivering an emotional and impassioned statement that resonates deeply with the nursing profession's ethos. Turner explains the context with raw clarity. The group is gathered at the location of the tragedy to honor one of their own. She describes Preddy as a VA nurse and ICU specialist who devoted his career to caring for veterans, individuals who have served the country and deserve the highest level of respect and medical attention. On the day of the incident, Preddy was engaged in the same selfless work that defines nursing, tending to patients and supporting people in their most vulnerable moments. Turner stresses that this was no extraordinary circumstance. It was Preddy simply fulfilling his role when the unthinkable happened. Her words build to a powerful call to action. Nurses across this country, we need to stand up and say, enough is enough. We need to fight back because these are our patients and these are the people, and that's who we care about. This is who we care for. This statement underscores the frustration felt by healthcare professionals who risk their lives daily yet face threats from systemic issues, including aggressive enforcement tactics that can endanger lives unnecessarily. Turner's message is both a tribute to Preddy and a rallying cry for systemic change to prevent such incidents from recurring. Jolie's decision to repost and endorse this video aligns with her decades-long advocacy work. As a special envoy for the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees and a founder of multiple humanitarian initiatives, she has consistently championed causes related to human dignity, refugee rights, and protection of vulnerable populations. Her involvement here bridges her global activism with a domestic issue that intersects immigration policy, law enforcement accountability, and the protection of essential workers during a time when nurses have already been hailed as heroes amid various public health crises. She is not alone in this celebrity chorus of condemnation. Earlier, Jennifer Aniston, the beloved Friends star known for her philanthropy and vocal support of social issues, had spoken out against the killing, expressing horror at the loss of a caregiver in such circumstances. Ellen DeGeneres, the talk show host and comedian who has long used her platform for advocacy on LGBTQ+ rights and other matters, also joined the criticism, highlighting the injustice and calling for reforms. Other names mentioned in the growing list of supporters include Katherine Schwarzenegger, Patrick J. Adams, Billie Eilish, and additional figures from entertainment who have leveraged their influence to draw attention to Preddy's story. The collective response from these celebrities illustrates a broader trend in Hollywood where stars increasingly align with grassroots movements, especially those involving marginalized groups or frontline workers. Protests against ICE have long been a flashpoint in discussions about immigration enforcement, with critics arguing that aggressive tactics lead to unnecessary violence and trauma. Supporters of stricter policies counter that agents face dangerous situations requiring decisive action, but cases like Preddy's, where the victim was an unarmed nurse performing community care, fuel demands for oversight, de-escalation training, and policy reviews. This moment also spotlights the intersection of healthcare and immigration debates. Nurses, often on the front lines of both medical emergencies and community support, sometimes interact with immigrant populations or individuals in precarious legal status. Pretty's role as a VA nurse caring for veterans adds layers of irony and tragedy, as it involves serving those who defended the nation's borders while falling victim in a border-related enforcement scenario. As protests continue and gain momentum, amplified by figures like Jolie, the hope among advocates is that sustained pressure will lead to meaningful dialogue and change. Whether through congressional hearings, policy adjustments, or increased transparency from ICE, the goal remains preventing future tragedies and ensuring that those who dedicate their lives to healing are protected rather than endangered. Jolie's contribution, though simple in form, a shared video, carries weight due to her global reach and credibility in humanitarian circles. It serves as a reminder that celebrity platforms can elevate voices that might otherwise go unheard, turning personal loss into a catalyst for collective action. In joining Aniston, DeGeneres, and others, Jolie reinforces a united front of empathy, outrage, and determination to honor Alex Pretty's memory by demanding better.